You've noticed it. Some men enter a room and don't say much, but everyone feels them. Their shoulders are relaxed. Their eyes are steady. Their silence feels heavier than most people's words. And then there's the version of you you're tired of. Explaining yourself too much. Laughing at jokes that low-key disrespect you. Talking fast when you feel nervous. Overthinking every message before you send it, and overthinking the silence when they don't reply. You feel the sting of being ignored, left on read, interrupted mid-sentence, used when it's convenient, forgotten when it's not. And in those moments, your instinct is to do more, talk more, convince more, prove you're worth listening to. But that instinct is exactly what's making you invisible. Your power is leaking out through nervous chatter, over-explaining, and emotional reactions. You're training people to think. He'll always be there. He'll always explain. He'll always care more than we do. Stoicism cuts straight through that weakness. It's not about being cold or robotic. It's about becoming a man whose mind is his own, whose emotions are tamed, whose presence is sharp like a sword. Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire, but his real battlefield was his own mind. Epictetus was born a slave, yet his spirit was freer than his master's. Seneca was surrounded by politics, betrayal, and danger, yet he wrote about calm like it was a weapon. They understood something modern men have forgotten. Respect isn't demanded with words. It's commanded by energy, by what you tolerate, by what you're willing to walk away from in silence. In this video, you're going to learn 6 dark psychological tricks to earn respect without speaking. They're dark because most people never see them directly. They just feel them. They feel your distance, your unbothered calm, your refusal to dance for their approval. We'll talk about stillness that makes people lean in, eye contact that exposes insecurity without a single insult, strategic silence that makes others chase your validation, detachment that turns you from too available into mysteriously high value. By the end, you won't just have new behavior. You'll have a new identity, a stoic warrior, a man with dangerous calm, a man who never begs for respect because his entire life is a quiet standard. If you're tired of being the man everyone overlooks until they need something, pause for a second, hit like, subscribe, and share this with the one man you know who's too good-hearted for the way he's being treated. This is the home for men rebuilding their self-respect from the inside out. And I want you to plant a flag in the comments. Write this: my silence is my power, not my weakness. You're not here to stay the same. You're here to sharpen. Epictetus reminded you, you don't need more noise. You need less. Less reaction, less over-explaining, less chasing. You're about to learn the first brutal truth. Why the way you stand, the way you look, and the way you choose not to respond can flip the power dynamic instantly, without a single word leaving your mouth. We're going to start with the first dark psychological trick that quietly bends how people see you, feel you, and treat you. You've already felt the shift. Just by thinking differently about silence, you can feel a new kind of power waking up in you. Now we go from idea to weapon, from I get it to I live it. These first dark psychological tricks are simple, but they're not easy, because they require you to kill old habits, nervous talking, instant reacting, chasing validation. The first one is this: the stone-faced mirror. Most people are walking reactions. They laugh when others laugh. They frown when others frown. They rush to fill awkward silence because they're terrified of being judged. You're going to become the opposite, a calm, unreadable mirror. Psychologically, humans search for cues. We scan faces to know what's safe, what's cool, who's in charge. The one who reacts the least usually has the most power. Next time someone tries to provoke you with a joke that cuts a little too deep, don't explain, don't defend, don't fake laugh. Just look at them with quiet, steady eyes, neutral face. Let the words hang in the air. Suddenly, they're the one who feels exposed. They start backtracking. It was just a joke. Because your lack of reaction forced them to see themselves. Epictetus said, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. In a world addicted to reaction, your lack of reaction is intimidating. You go from easy target to I don't know what he's thinking, and that makes me respect him. Identity shift for you. I am the calm mirror. I don't dance for anyone's approval. The next weapon, the heavy walk. Respect starts before you say a word. It starts with how you enter a room. Most men move like they're apologizing for existing. Fast, jittery, shoulders caved in, eyes darting around, scanning for who's above them. You're done with that. Your new walk is slow, grounded, deliberate. Feet firmly planted, shoulders relaxed, head level. You don't rush to get anywhere. You move like a man who's exactly where he needs to be. At work, when you walk into a meeting, don't slip in quietly and collapse into your chair. Walk in, stand for a second, take in the room, then sit with intention. On the street, don't weave through people like a scared mouse. Hold your line. Adjust, but don't shrink. Marcus Aurelius wrote, the best revenge is not to be like your enemy. Your walk is your quiet rebellion against a world that moves frantically, begging to be seen. You don't rush because you're not chasing anything. You are the storm cloud moving in its own time. Identity shift. I move slowly and with weight. My presence speaks before I do. Third weapon, the delayed response. This one is brutal because your ego will scream. We live in a world of instant replies, instant anger, instant paragraphs when someone disrespects you, instant "are you mad at me?" when they pull back. You're gonna break that pattern. Psychologically, the person who takes longer to respond is perceived as higher value, less needy, more in control, not because of games, but because it shows you have a life, priorities, and emotional regulation. When someone sends a disrespectful text or a passive-aggressive comment, don't fire back instantly. Breathe, stand up, walk away from your phone, let the first wave of emotion pass. Then, either respond with short, calm clarity, or don't respond at all. In person, when someone puts you on the spot, don't panic answer. Pause. Look down for a second if you need to. Think, then speak briefly. Seneca said, "The greatest remedy for anger is delay." Modern translation: a man who waits before he responds owns the frame. A man who reacts instantly is controlled like a puppet. Identity shift. I choose my timing. I am not dragged by emotion or urgency. If any part of you is resisting this, good. That's the weak self that's been running your life. You're cutting his strings. If this is hitting, take a second and hit like. Save this video and share it to your future self. You'll want to revisit these weapons when your emotions start begging you to go back to the old patterns. Because we're not done. These are just the first blades. Next, we'll go deeper into the kinds of silent distance and cold, calm boundaries that make people rethink how they treat you, or lose access to you completely. You've already started to feel it. You talk a little less. You move a little slower. You react a little later. And people notice. They can't fully explain it, but something about you feels heavier now. In the last part, you learn to become the calm mirror, to walk with weight, and to delay your responses. Those alone already separate you from most men, but we're not after better than most men. We're after unshakable. We're after stoic warrior energy. So now we sharpen the last 3 dark psychological tricks. These ones change who gets access to you and what it does to them. The next weapon is the unshakable gaze. Most people's eyes tell you everything. Fear, insecurity, neediness. They look away too fast. They scan the room to see who's watching. They drop their gaze when challenged. You're going to train your eyes to become still. Psychologically, eye contact is about dominance and comfort, not childish power moves, but grounded self-respect. The man who can hold calm eye contact without fidgeting or over-smiling is perceived as more confident, more honest, and more dominant. Next time someone tests you, notice your instinct. Do you look down? Do you laugh and break eye contact? Instead, breathe. Relax your eyelids. Let your gaze rest on theirs for a beat longer than feels comfortable. No frown, no fake smile, just quiet presence. Then, when you're ready, look away slowly and naturally, not snap down in shame. Just like you're choosing to shift your focus. Epictetus said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." Mastery starts where your body wants to flinch. Your eyes become proof that you're not hiding from the moment anymore. Identity shift. My eyes do not run from reality. I face everything with calm. Next weapon, the scarcity of access. Here's the harsh truth. You've made yourself too available. Always replying instantly. Always picking up the phone. Always saying yes to last-minute plans with people who never prioritize you. Psychologically, humans value what is scarce, what is hard to access, what is not always on tap. You gotta stop being always on. That doesn't mean being rude or fake busy. It means your life has a structure. Your time has a purpose. Your attention is not a free public resource. At work, stop accepting every request to quickly help with this when it's clearly not your responsibility. Calmly say, "I'm focused on something else right now," and keep working. In relationships, stop dropping everything for people who only hit you up when they're bored. If they text you late, respond when it fits your schedule or not at all. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." Modern version, if it doesn't align with your standards, you're allowed to say no. Your time becomes heavier when you stop giving it to everyone. Identity shift. My presence is earned, not assumed. I am not on sale. Final weapon, silent exit. This one scares the weak version of you the most, because it means there are lines that, once crossed, you don't explain, argue, or negotiate about. You just leave. Most people beg at the door of disrespect. They try to talk the other person into treating them better. They send long messages explaining how they feel. They believe if they just say the right words, everything will change. It rarely does. Psychologically, nothing is more powerful than removing yourself. When disrespect is met with long speeches, the disrespect grows. When disrespect is met with a calm exit, everything shifts. In a relationship, when someone repeatedly crosses your boundaries, you don't threaten to leave 10 times. You state your boundary once. If it's broken again, you go silent and walk. Block, delete, move. No dramatic announcement. Your absence is the message. With friends, if they constantly make you the punchline, stop showing up. Stop being available for hangouts where you're the clown. Your no is quiet, but they will feel it. Seneca said, "Associate with people who are likely to improve you." The flip side is brutal. Detach from those who rot your self-respect. The man who is willing to silently exit what disrespects him becomes terrifying in the best way. Identity shift. I don't fight for my place where I'm not respected. I walk. Now look at what you're building. A calm mirror, a heavy walk, delayed responses, unshakable gaze, scarce access, silent exits. Ignore these and you stay the same man. Over-explaining, over-texting, over-available, quietly angry at himself. Live these and you become something else. A man whose presence is felt, whose boundaries are real, whose silence carries more weight than a speech. If this is speaking to the part of you that's done being stepped on, drop a quick comment saying, I respect myself too much to stay small. Let's see how many men are choosing this path, because next, we're going to tie all of this together. We'll move from tactics to transformation, from scattered tricks to a full identity as a stoic warrior, walking through a chaotic world with dangerous calm. Look at where you started, and look at where you are now. You came in tired of being ignored, tired of being disrespected, tired of being the man who explains, apologizes, and overthinks while everyone else walks over him. Now, you're different. You may not fully feel it yet, but your old self is already cracking. You're learning to be the calm mirror instead of the clown. You're walking heavier, reacting slower, looking people in the eye without flinching. You're making your time scarce. You're willing to leave quietly when your dignity is on the line. These aren't just tricks. They are pieces of a worldview. Stoicism is not pretend you don't feel anything. It's this: feel everything, but obey nothing except your principles. Marcus Aurelius lived surrounded by war, plague, betrayal. Yet he wrote, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. He didn't say, talk them into respecting you. He said, claim the only battlefield that's truly yours, your mind. That's what you've been doing. Each trick is really a training ground. The stone-faced mirror, that's you refusing to let others decide your emotional state. The heavy walk, that's you telling the world, I belong here, without asking permission. The delayed response, that's you choosing reason over reaction. The unshakable gaze, that's you facing reality instead of hiding. The scarcity of access, that's you treating your time and energy like something sacred. The silent exit, that's you choosing self-respect over chaos. Together, they forge a new identity. You're not just more confident. You're becoming a stoic warrior, a man who walks through life like a battlefield, alert, calm, disciplined. Think of your old self like a flimsy tent in a storm. Every opinion, every ghosted message, every joke at your expense ripped the fabric. Now you're building a fortress. Storms still come. Rejection still happens. People will still disappoint you. But instead of collapsing, you stand. Your emotions slam against the walls, but they don't decide your next move. Your ego screams to chase, to argue, to prove yourself, and you just breathe. Seneca wrote, he who is brave is free. Freedom is not doing whatever you feel. Freedom is not being dragged by every feeling like a slave. The brave man is free because he can walk away from what insults his soul. That's who you're becoming. Take a moment and really imagine your life if you commit to this path. Imagine walking into any room and not wondering, do they like me? Instead, you ask, do they fit my standards? Imagine relationships where your boundaries are clear, where your silence means something, where your presence is not assumed. Imagine looking in the mirror and actually respecting the man staring back, not because he's perfect, but because he doesn't betray himself to be liked. That's the deeper Stoic worldview. You are responsible for your character, not their opinion. You are responsible for your standards, not their reactions. You are responsible for your path, not who chooses to walk it with you. You are the storm and the warrior inside it. The battlefield is your mind. The sword is your discipline. The shield is your boundaries. The armor is your calm. If this is resonating, pause and breathe. You're not just watching a video. You're rewriting your identity. Drop this in the comments if you feel that shift. I am no longer available for disrespect, even for myself. Because in the final part, we're going to take everything you've learned and turn it into clear marching orders. No fluff, no theory. Exactly how to live these 6 dark psychological tricks daily, so respect becomes the natural byproduct of the man you are. So here you are. You made it through the fire. You've stared down your old habits. You've watched the weak version of yourself get exposed. And you didn't run from it. You started this video tired of disrespect, tired of over-explaining, tired of being the man who feels everything and controls nothing. Now you understand something most men never do. Respect doesn't start with them. It starts with you. You've learned 6 silent weapons. The calm mirror that refuses to perform. The heavy walk that says, I belong here, without a word. The delayed response that turns your emotions into servants, not masters. The unshakable gaze that doesn't flinch from reality. The scarcity of access that makes your time and presence valuable. The silent exit that chooses dignity over drama. But this only matters if it leaves the screen and enters your life. So here are your marching orders. From this day on, when someone disrespects you with a joke, you will not nervously laugh and shrink. You will breathe, look at them calmly, and let the silence expose them. You're not chasing comfort anymore. You're enforcing a standard. From this day on, when you enter a room, you will not scramble, shrink, or rush. You will walk slowly, shoulders relaxed, eyes steady. You will sit like you have every right to be there, because you do. From this day on, when your phone lights up with something that triggers you, you will not let your thumbs decide your fate. You will stand up, walk away, let the first wave of emotion pass. Then you decide, respond short and calm, or don't respond at all. From this day on, you will stop letting everyone have easy access to you. You will work on your body, your craft, your money, your mind. Your time becomes structured, and anyone who wants a piece of it will feel that it costs something. And when lines are crossed again and again, when you see clearly that a person, a friendship, relationship, a job is eating away at your self-respect, you will stop bargaining at the door of disrespect. You will exit, quietly, no begging, no essays, just the sound of your footsteps leaving. This isn't about turning you into a cold robot. It's about giving you a spine made of iron and the heart you actually protect. Epictetus said, first say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. So decide right now, who are you going to be? A man who keeps talking about how badly he's treated, or a stoic warrior who lives by a silent code? Because when you change your behavior, your identity catches up. Every time you hold your gaze instead of looking away, you tell your nervous system, we don't run anymore. Every time you delay a reaction, you tell your mind, I'm in charge now. Every time you walk away from disrespect, you tell your soul, you're worth protecting. Respect will follow that man, not overnight, not from everyone, but slowly. The people who are blind to your worth will fall away, and the ones who see your standard will lean in. You don't need to announce any of this. You don't need to post about it. You don't need to explain it. Your life becomes the announcement. Your calm becomes the message. Your silence becomes the proof. If this video woke something up in you, don't let it fade. Hit like so this stays in your history. Subscribe and stay close to this community of Stoic warriors who are rebuilding themselves from the inside out. Share this with the one man you know who's on the edge of breaking, but hasn't yet discovered his own dangerous calm. And I want you to seal this in the comments with one final affirmation. Right, I move in dangerous calm. My silence commands respect. Let that be your code, your reminder, your new baseline. You are not here to beg for a seat at anyone's table. You are the man who builds his own. Quietly, disciplined, unshakable. Now close this video and step back into the world like the storm you were always meant to be.